Tom, thank you for your time. You're stepping into a big role, a seat held by some really big names in journalism. Of course, Tom Brokaw, Lester Holt. I've got to ask you, was this always a dream?
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think this was possible, to be honest with you. I've been working in this business since I was 15. I started at a Telemundo station in Miami, and I've always loved this business, and I've worked pretty much every job in this industry. But growing up, we were an NBC family, and we watched nightly news, and Tom Brokaw, I mean, of course, a legend, and Brian Williams. And then I got to know Lester. I worked for Lester as a production assistant after college. My wife worked for him as well, and he's always been such a great guy. He's an amazing broadcaster, but he's an amazing man. And he's always given me advice at different points in my career. So to be taking over for him is truly a gift. I think NBC Nightly News is the best of NBC News at night. Our reporters, our teams in the field are completely unmatched. I do think we're best in class, and you see that every night on Nightly News.
You know, Tom, we've seen you as a network correspondent traveling the world. You've been out, you know, on the big scenes, the breaking news. Is that still going to be a priority for you as you now step into this anchor role there on Nightly News?
Yeah. I think that when something breaks, whether it be in this country or overseas, that it causes the entire nation to pause and to focus on a place. I'm going to be there. Breaking news is in my DNA. I think you got to go there. You got to tell people stories. You got to bear witness. You got to see it for yourself. And I think the greats in this business, they not only knew how to talk on television, they not only knew how to ask tough questions, but they knew how to listen. And when you get down there, you really have to listen so you can tell people their stories. I work for NBC, but I really work for the viewers at home. And part of that, to get the complete story, is going to these places and making sure you're there to get everything they need to know.
You know, on a serious note, Tom, television news is a difficult industry. We have to continue to earn the trust of our viewers. And where do you see that trust being built there at Nightly News as you step into this role?
I think millions of Americans already trust Nightly News. I think the two tenets that I live by are be tough but fair. So be tough on the Republicans, but also be tough on the Democrats and be fair. And I think we do that at NBC, and we've always done that. And then I think when you're reporting, you have to do it without fear or favor. I didn't invent these tenets of journalism, but I think if you do them right, you get the job right. And it's what I think we do every single day. It's like I said, we work for the viewers, and people have a lot of important decisions to make, and we're here for them to give them the information they need to make those decisions.
Okay, on a little lighter note here, you are a family man, I know that. So tell me about how you balance this, okay? It's such a demanding job like that. How do you balance family and career?
It's tough, you know, but I think it's something that every American goes through, right? That work-life balance. My kids have always known me as a network correspondent or an anchor, so they know sometimes I have to leave a baseball game or a school play or a gymnastics meet, and they know that their dad obviously loves them, and I'm dedicated to my family, but sometimes I have to go, and that's what the job calls for, because they know I have a responsibility, and they know I'm doing this for other people as well, the viewers back at home. And so, you know, there's some tough conversations you have to have, but I'm always very honest with my kids so they understand. They obviously worry about me, especially when you go into some zones of conflict and when you're covering a hurricane and things like that. But, you know, we're a family that believes in prayer, and we're always together, and when I'm not working, I'm with them.
That's great. Well, one more question for you, Tom, before we let you go. Any advice coming from Lester Holt for you as you step into this role?
You know, a lot of the conversations we've had, and I talk to him all the time. I'm going to talk to him in a little bit, actually. I usually have questions for him, and he gives me some great feedback and great answers. And I've asked him about being a dad, and, you know, because he was raising two sons as he was coming up through the business, and some of the things he did. And so he's always been helpful and always been so accessible, and he's a great guy, and he's going to stay a part of NBC Nightly News, and of course he's going to Dateline, so we're not losing him at all.
Yeah, we love Lester. Lester's fantastic. Well, Tom, we look forward to your leadership at Nightly News, and we wish you the very best. Thank you so much.